We've also got a guest with us this morning, who is someone who does this kind of stuff for a living, amongst many other things. And I thought what we'll do is we'll have a chat with Helen Chaffey, who's with us this morning. Very nice to see you, Helen. Helen's joined this call a couple of times before. She is the person in the cabinet at Westmorland and Furness with responsibility for culture, amongst many other things. So we're going to hear from Helen, and I'm sure we're making a good impression on her as we all put in bids for money from Westmorland and Furness, those of us that are from that part of the world. Then we'll have the first part of the awards ceremony. We'll have a little review of the year, the second part of the awards ceremony, and if we've still got any energy around us, we'll have an exciting climax towards the end of the hour as well. But we'll still finish at 10:30. That is the plan for this morning. You're all very welcome. People that have just joined us as well, you're very welcome to be here. Up to 30 participants. It's always great to hit 30 on a Friday morning. Right, without further ado, let's say hello to Helen Chaffey, who is sitting there. Where are you, Helen? You live Arnside way, don't you?
I do. Wonderful to be here. Yes, I'm sitting here in a very wet and soggy Arnside this morning. So pretty much the furthest south you can get in our wonderful county.
Beautiful part of the
Um,
world.
yes,
You lived there have you
I,
lived there for many years?
uh, actually, I've lived here full time for over 10 years now. Um, my mother bought a holiday flat here 20 years ago. She now lives here permanently as well. So, whilst I've been here permanently 10 years, I'm sort of been familiar with the area for 20 years. Forever an outcomer, though, I think, in these parts. Yeah, I thank my lucky stars every day, quite honestly.
Okay, and tell us what you do.
So, what do I do? Well, I'm a local councillor. My ward is the Kent Estuary, which obviously includes Arnside. Other places include Milnthorpe and Beetham, for those familiar with the area. So I became a councillor in December 2018. Then that was South Lakeland District Council, and then decided to stand for election to the new Council of Westmorland and Furness. I've been on the cabinet now for a year, so this is very far from a part-time job. It is very much a full-time job. And something that I enjoy very much, although obviously it has its challenges. You mentioned the word responsibility in your introductory remarks, and in a good way, I feel that responsibility very keenly. Specifically in my portfolio, which I think is relevant to everybody today, I have what I call the four C's. The first C I always put up is communities. As a councillor, I am very much about communities first, politics second. And I think that's an important thing to say up front. The second C that I introduce is culture. Hang on a sec, so I'm just plugging my battery in. So for me, communities and culture sit very closely together. So I'll talk about culture specifically in a minute. The third C is customer services. So, really important as a council that we deliver in the most efficient and effective way, whether those are community needs or resident needs. And the fourth C is communications. So those are the four C's.
And Christmas.
And Chaffee, and absolutely, it's all about the C's today, isn't it? To come back to the word responsibility, I've had culture in my portfolio relatively recently. My predecessor, I'm sure you all remember, was Virginia. Obviously, Virginia was a huge fan of the arts, if I can put it in that way. When we talk about responsibility, I feel that keenly in terms of taking over her mantle. Um, so when I was invited by Tom to come and speak to you today, he asked me why people might want to come and listen to what I had to say. So I can
In that
obviously
cheeky way that I do with everybody. Why might people want to come and listen to you?
So, exactly. So, whilst I can talk about the role of the council and answer any questions that you may have with relation to that, um, right now, in relation to the word culture, what I'm particularly interested in defining is the role of culture in today's society. And I guess to know one of the things that I also have in my portfolio of responsibilities is equality, diversity, and inclusion. So, what I'm really interested in is defining the role of culture in today's society. And with reference, I suppose, even to the tragic events in Bondi Beach recently, um, the protests that we see around the Dalton Mosque. This is a topic that's really close to my heart at the moment. And if I was to define the role of culture in today's society, and of course, I'm very interested in everybody's views on this, my working definition would be as follows. Through arts, literature, music, and other forms of expression, culture offers a platform for discovering different perspectives, which helps break down stereotypes, builds international trust, and fosters tolerance and mutual respect among diverse peoples. So, this is something that I'm very keen on when I think about culture and the role of culture in today's society. And obviously, in particular, Westmorland and Furness, and frankly, I'll talk about that in a Cumbrian context
Yeah.
too. So very interested to get all of your views on what I've just said today. Maybe it's a topic for another time. So when I think about where I am and how long I've been here, and I think about the role of culture, one of the things that I'm increasingly fascinated about is the history of this county. Um, I went to a recent talk given by Rory Stewart. I don't know if anybody else attended his talk at the Candle Leisure Centre. Obviously, that was publicising his new book, Middle Land,
Yeah.
which I bought a signed copy of. And so when I think about what I've said about the role of culture in today's society, I'm very interested in our county and its history, and Middleland will be my Christmas reading. But I suppose what I'm increasingly interested in is what I see on the surface is an apparent lack of diversity. And I think, therefore, it's even more important that we think about culture in terms of introducing our residents and communities to other types of culture. Um, so when I say apparent lack of diversity, with reference to that book, there's an incredible history in terms of this county, and I suspect that my journey is going to be discovering that there's more diversity than I think. So when I say apparent, I really do want to underline that word. So as we move forward into next year, that is a theme that I will be thinking about. And as I get to know all of you, because my intention is absolutely to attend these calls on a weekly basis, to understand more about all of you and what you contribute to culture within the county. I think that's the best way of discovering. So, maybe to say a little bit about myself, which might help explain why I'm taking this particular angle, is I was actually born and bred in Macclesfield, Cheshire, which I considered the north, although anybody in Cumbria tells me that that's not really the north at all. But I suppose we could all agree it is part of the northwest. I am the product of a music teacher and an English teacher. My father was head of music at King's School, Macclesfield, and indeed he founded the Macclesfield Arts Festival. He was very committed to the arts. I think one year in my childhood, the only night he was actually in was Christmas Day. Such was his dedication. He was a church organist. We sang in the church choir. Um, he conducted orchestras. I mean, all sorts of activities you can imagine. My mother was head of English at Wimslow Grammar, just down the road. So from her, I get my love of theatre and literature. So a very artsy upbringing, which I feel incredibly privileged to have enjoyed. And actually, I truly am the product of my parents because the only things I was any good at school was music and English and a bit of art as well. I went on to study music at London University, Royal Holloway College. I sang in the chapel choir. Back then, it wasn't quite the choir that it is today. I mean, every time I turn on Radio 3, there seems to be a recording from Royal Holloway College Chapel Choir. But that was an amazing experience. So music is very much in my DNA, and classical music is the thing I know most about, but I
Okay.
enjoy all types of music. Um, Along that journey, my mother was happy for me to study music, but was concerned that it might be a rather precarious way to earn a living. So she insisted I did a shorthand and typing course. And actually, that was hugely beneficial because during the holidays as a student, I used to temp. And my first temping job at the age of 19 was for Saatchi and Saatchi in London. And I completely fell in love with the world of advertising. So when I left university, I applied for a job and taught my way in. So when I talk about communications, my professional background is not as a musician, although I'm still a keen amateur. But my professional background is in fact advertising and marketing. And I hope that in turn can be relevant to everybody round the table today, because obviously that has a very important role.
Okay. I'm just Helen. We'll obviously look forward to getting to know you better over the weeks ahead of 2026 when hopefully you join these calls on a Friday. Let me just ask you a brief question, which is, you know, as far as culture is concerned and Westmorland and Furness, what would you like to sort of see evolve over the time that you've got the responsibility in that portfolio? What will be different because of you being there?
Uh, what would be different? I think really that comes back to my theme. What I would like to think my impact might be is for all of us to think about the role of culture in increasing people's knowledge and understanding of different cultures. So
Right.
for me, in terms of my own personal imprint, that is something that I think is really important. Not just in terms of our young people, which of course is very important, but really for everybody. So, recognizing the proud history of Cumbria and, its independence, for 700 years, it was its own kingdom. But at the same time, we are a long way from other places, and making sure that we are connected to the rest of the world through culture, I think for me is very important.
Great. Okay. That's a great answer because I think that's music to lots of people's ears, probably on this call, who would agree with that sentiment as well. Has anybody got any brief questions for Helen while we're sitting here together on this festive occasion, festive or otherwise? Has anybody got any questions for Helen? I'm just going to look into chat. Nothing there at the moment. Anybody want to ask anything?
Hi, Tom.
Yeah, hi Joe. Joe
You know,
Archie.
I like a bit of politics. Um, Come on the call to meet Helen. So very nice to meet you, Helen. Yeah, I work for ArcGene. We're based in Barrow in Furness, which is a town built on migration. It's entirely created in a very short time from migration and continues to be Westmorland and Furness's council's preferred option for housing asylum seekers and refugees. And so ArcGene very much is working with an extremely diverse community right now. So yeah, I welcome your focus on the Dalton Synagogue, which has been a shame on our county. Sorry, the Dalton Mosque, which has been a shame on Furness in particular, which we all will need to come together to combat. But something a bit more prosaic, if you don't mind. I'm here to ask you about the Westmorland and Furness cultural strategy and the delivery framework. So it's been in position now for a year. It was launched in January 2025. Um, and I just want to understand how it's being reviewed, whether you'd like us to hold you to account on it. I'm really up for that if if you think it will exist for very much longer. Obviously, it
Okay,
has your predecessor's photograph and name on it, so you may have plans to change it. But if it exists for the year ahead, then yeah, it'd be great to understand your views on how far it's being delivered.
Helen.
Well, I think totally to your point, I'm interested to know from you whether you think we're delivering on that or not. So that sounds like a bit of a cheap shot to kind of throw the question back at you, but I welcome your views on that. First of all, though, just to touch on asylum seekers and refugees, because I could talk about my portfolio all morning. I also have responsibility for that area as well. And so, yes, that's also why I'm particularly disturbed about the Dalton Mosque, but also have been very involved with how we support asylum seekers and refugees. I spent some time in Barrow, in fact, literally 3 or 4 weeks ago, talking to a number of different organisations who we support and in turn they support. So have been on the ground in Barrow talking to those organisations. But yes, I would very much welcome your view and everybody's view on whether you think we're delivering against what we said we would want to deliver.
Yeah, my personal view, and again, I could go on about this for a long time, but I think when I first saw the strategy and the delivery framework, I was really optimistic for some change, that we might have a council that wanted to work in partnership with the cultural delivery partners that exist here, and a council that might want to actively champion the work that many of the organisations on this call do. And they were the kinds of actions right at the top of the delivery framework, which is about 3 pages from memory.
Yeah.
And so to have them prioritised at the top of that document felt really like a change, like a difference. Actually, what I've observed in the past year is the council perhaps resorting back to tradition, and focusing on, you know, the delivery action that is right at the bottom of that document, which is much more about focusing on its own cultural assets and developing its own cultural assets, which in, you know, straitened financial times might be understandable. You know, I understand that the Coro in Ulverston is a problem for you, that you need to invest in that. I understand that Barrow Town Hall is an issue and that will need some investment. But yeah, I remain a little bit disappointed that we're not seeing the council as an advocate for culture in the way that, for example, you know, the sustainability lead on the council is very clearly out there as an advocate for sustainability and low carbon action. So
Okay, I'm just
yeah,
conscious
I'd
of
like to
time,
see a
Joe.
bit more advocacy for culture.
Yeah.
Okay. If I can just very quickly respond to that.
Yeah, very briefly, if you could, then we've got a couple
Yeah.
more questions.
Point noted. I've had culture for a relatively short space of time, but I will absolutely consider your comment and speak to that more perhaps in the new year. Just briefly with relation to the Coro, that is something that I have been pretty actively engaged in the last 3 months since I took on this role. And I just wanted to emphasize that the approach that we have taken is very much engaging with the community and a number of different organisations to get their views about the future. So this is very much a project where we have gone to great lengths to outreach into the community to seek those different views as to what the future of the Corrie should be going forward. So I would hope that's quite a shift in approach versus what we might have done traditionally. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Helen. Thank you, Joe. Derek, if we could keep it brief, that would be great. Thank you.
I would just like to ask whether or not you feel that the recently published review into the Arts Council and the way it operates will enable local councils to support the arts and culture more.
This is the Hodge review that's just been announced
Yes.
this week.
Yeah. Well, I would hope so, is the short answer to that question. But obviously, to be frank, I need to go into it in more depth than I have been able to this week since it came out. But yes, I would hope so.
Yeah, I think we'll look at the Arts Council review in the new year, Derek. It's a really good question. It's quite a long piece of work that she's led there. And we'll look at that and perhaps devote some time on a Friday call just to get people's thoughts about that. And Helen, you might well want to take part in that discussion when we do that. Lovely. Thank you, Derek. John. If you just come off mute, John, please. Okay, yeah, off you go.
Good morning, Helen. Picking up on what Joe said, we in our area, Penrith, have got Penrith Old Town Hall. We had a consultation throughout the summer. We've been promised a view of the consultation to comment. We haven't seen it, and we're told that it's going to a decision as to how it will be forwarded by the council in January. Doesn't exactly give us out here, who you talk about talking to, like the thing with Coronation Hall, much hope if we haven't actually seen the consultation yet. I've been asking for it for about 3 months. Second point, I've been asking since February of last year that the money that's spent on arts organisations in Westmorland and Furness is evenly spread out and has a very clear system for applying its funding to all organisations, whilst it continues to ignore ones like Upfront Arts Venue, have been here for years, never been regularly funded. There's no platform to sort that. There's no reply whatsoever to any of my emails about when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, to all of the appointed officers, Jenny and Kate. When can we have some information? Because we're a bit out of here, really.
Okay, so in brief, I think I should just correct that we have responded to a number of your emails. So I just don't want everybody else on the call to think we don't respond, because we do. With relation to Penrith Town Hall, we will absolutely share those findings as and when we have a complete report. Right now, I don't have a complete report, so we're not hiding anything. We did the consultation very similarly to the one that we did with the Coro, so we will be sharing that in due course. With respect to even spread of funding, we do make every effort to consider that even spread of funding across the entire area. So I also just want to take the opportunity to make that clear to everybody. Thank you.
Okay, well, what we'll do, we'll pick up some of these subjects in the new year as we develop our forum for discussion. I'm just conscious of time. If anybody else wants to put a question to Helen, pop it into email to us, hello@CAN. I'll start that again. hello@cacn.co.uk, and we could forward those to Helen. The point of this morning's call was just very much to introduce Helen to you, get a chance to find out a little more about you, and great that you're going to join us on some of these calls going towards in the new year, Helen.
Absolutely.
And we'll pick up some of these conversations. I'm not trying to sidetrack this. We'll pick up some of these conversations in due course and see where we get to, and particularly that Arts Council review. it potentially is a very impactful piece of work, which could impact, for example, on the Let's Create strategy, I would have thought, which is we're only, what, 6 years into. So various things going on there. So thank you very much. And thank you to Joe and to Derek and to John for your questions so far this morning. Right. So we did have some music lined up for this, but just imagine the big fanfare going off now as we hit 10 o'clock. And we've got half an hour left to find out about how the year's been for CACN, but also to dish out some very important gongs and certificates to various crucial members of our community and network on these Friday morning Zoom calls. So without further ado, I invite my glamorous assistant, Iona, to pull up one or two slides as we get to the Friday Zoomies End of Year Awards ceremony, which is, again, an inaugural moment for us all, but one to celebrate. Look at all the glamorous clothes that everyone's wearing, the glamorous windows that we're all decorating as well as we get into the festive season. So our first award this morning, if I can ask my glamorous assistant to go to push on to the next slide, is the best newcomer to the CACN Friday Zoom network calls. This is about call number 42, I think, this year. We had August off. It might even be more than that, actually. They all fade into and blend into one. But I'm going to ask my colleague, Kate Parry, who is the director of CACN, to announce the winner of the Best Newcomer Award. Kate, over to you.
Yes, so 3, 2, 1, and the award goes to Helen Chaffey as the best newcomer to these calls.
And why has it gone to Helen, Kate?
Because we appreciate the fact that she is turning up to these calls and engaging with us and being part of the conversation, and that means a lot to us. So Helen, do come off mute and say a few words if you wish.
Well, thank you. I'm extremely honoured. I think, as always, the proof is in the pudding. So moving forward, let's hope that I can address some of the comments that I heard today and make some progress. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll make time for that. You know, today is just a quick introduction, everybody. So there will be more time. And welcome to CACN.
It's a very, very sought after award, though, Helen, the Best Newcomer Award. So congratulations. I know you'll be almost over the moon and everything else to have won that award. So congratulations. Right. We're now going to move on to the second award of the morning, which is the Best Pet Appearance on a Zoom Call award. These always make me smile and make me happy and make me think that this is the right forum to be having these sorts of conversations. So again, Kate, I'm going to hand over to you to say a few words about who's won the Best Pet Appearance Award.
Yes, so this is again hotly contested, but last week in particular there was a very fine appearance from an enormous black cat, pretty much sitting on somebody's head. So yeah, this year the award goes to Kate Lavender. Are you there, Kate? And if so, come off mute and accept your award.
Kate's usually busy doing something during these calls. She may not be able to come off whatever she's doing.
Pretty certain she's there. She certainly was.
And yes, well spotted, Sue Allen. Appearance was spelt with an E on the slide, but of course we got it right on the certificate with an A.
Oh, sorry. Been a highly stressful awards morning.
So Kate Lavender was there, and we will send her award to her.
Excellent.
I expect she's gone off to chase a cat.
Right, moving straight along then. Best Hat Wearer. This is an award again, which obviously is particularly pertinent this morning when there's a number of excellent hats. The awards committee met over the last week, and so I'm afraid if there's an excellent hat, particularly this morning, that will have to go into the pot for next year's award, because we had already nominated and had to have two nominations for this particular award this year. So Kate, again, if I can invite you to reveal who's been highly commended as Best Hat Wearer.
Well, again, this is something that people are pretty good at all year round, not just today, but the highly commended hat wearing award goes to Peter Hunter. And the reason for that, he has an extremely fine house hat that he wears all the time and has just thankfully put back on. So Peter, do come off mute and accept your award. It's an emotional moment, Peter, I know. If you could just pull yourself together enough to say a word or two.
I'd like to thank my sister who knitted this hat for my nephew, and my nephew who rejected it because it was stupid. and now I'm wearing it, and I wear it a lot.
Okay.
We love
Well,
that hat.
congratulations.
We love
We
that.
do love it.
And we thought we should put Peter rather than Pete on the certificate as well. There's a degree of formality about this that we try to adhere to.
My official title.
Correct. Congratulations. Kate Lavender's back in the room, everybody. I wonder whether we could go back to Kate Lavender's certificate. Kate Lavender, of course, won it for Best Pet Appearance. Kate, have you got anything to say? Where is your pet this morning?
Well, neither of them are in here with me today, unfortunately. But on behalf of Luna, the very big fluffy black cat, and the also just as crazy spaniel who tries to get in on virtually every call, thank you very, very much. She will appreciate it, and she will try and make many more appearances, I'm sure, in 2026.
We would love that very much. We would love that very much. Congratulations. Now get back to work. Right.
Sorry.
When you now move on to, so that was highly commended, but we actually have the Best Hat Wearer award now. And Kate, would you like to reveal the winner of that?
To be honest, there's not much competition for the actual Best Hat Wearer. I think we all know who that's going to be. So the Best Hat Wearer goes to Chris Dennett, who every week wears the most ridiculous and inspiring hats. A round of applause, everybody. Chris Dennett, do come off mute and accept your award.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, it's not really a hat today, but you know, it's a head thing. It's a head thing. People at the CGP party said I look like either Mrs. Doubtfire or Dane Edna Everidge. So you can decide. But yes, thank you for this. Could I just say that Jenny's had to go because she's gone to collect a big check from Glaxo for the new community hub in Ulverston, the Spot, for 1.39 million. So,
wow!
Yes.
Wow!
And because of this call, she had to go dressed as an elf. So that's good news.
Congratulations, the whole Dennett family. Congratulations.
Exactly, and thank you for making us smile every single week with your collection of fantastic hats. Well done.
Right, it's moving swiftly along because time is against us. We'll now get to the 0932 Club Award, a special award for those that join 0932, knowing that the call starts at 0930. So, Kate, how's this one gone down?
Well, this again was quite hotly contested. We ended up giving the award to more than one person in effect. So yeah, the first recipient of the 0932 Club Award is Colin Glover, who consistently, except I have to say for today, consistently arrives at 32 minutes past 9 and has done since 2020. So I think a very well deserved award. So do come off mute, Colin, and accept your award.
Wonderful consistency.
Yeah. Oh no, we can't.
Sorry?
Go on, Colin, we can hear you.
A nostalgic moment takes me back to my school days. My school reports constantly said, must do better. And my teachers will be incessantly disappointed because I obviously haven't got it right. And I just haven't quite worked out that opening the laptop at 9:30 doesn't mean to say I go straight into the call. Thank you very much.
We would hate you to change the habit of a lifetime, yeah.
And we have another winner, Kate.
We do. We have a second recipient of this award who is Phil Hewitson. It must be something to do with Carlisle, who is also consistently a little bit late. So, Phil, do you have anything to say for yourself?
I was doing my best to be here on time this morning, and I had to take my car into the garage, so I was running to get here on time, and then it was 9:32.
Was 9:32, I noticed. So congratulations again on remarkable consistency.
In very good company. And finally, before we have a short break, we're going to have the Late Breakfast Early Snack Award. This, again, is a particularly special award that goes to somebody who often is identified as just having a small munch of something while they join the call. So, Kate, who's won this?
Well, we've had a long conversation, which is hence the rather long title for this award, as to whether it is actually late breakfast or an early snack. But the winner is Derek Cannon, of course. Derek, do come off mute, and if you'd like to say a few words. Come off mute, Derek.
He's possibly still finishing his late breakfast early snack.
You're on mute, Derek, and that's not your award. That's it.
So sorry, I was finishing my biscuit. I'm gobsmacked, or I suppose this is appropriate because it's something to do with my gob. But I'm deeply, deeply, deeply honoured. Thank you all very much.
Good work,
Yeah.
and keep on eating those lovely things, Derek. Whatever it is you eat, keep on eating.
As you said before, they're actually ginger nuts, as far as I recall.
Right, we're going to
I have
pause
a
there, and
special
Kate.
fondness for ginger nuts, yes. And you can take that any way you wish, Kate.
It's a classic choice. It's a classic choice. Right, we're just going to pause briefly for about 5 minutes now while we spin through reflectively what's happened during the year from a Cumbria Arts and Culture Network perspective. And so Kate, our esteemed director, is just going to fly through a few thoughts and a few reflections, some of which you may recognise that you may have been involved in yourself as we celebrate the year in action. So over to you, Kate.
Yeah, I am going to go quite quickly because this is not the fun bit, but I think it's fair to say that 2025 has been a bit of a roller coaster for Cumbria Arts and Culture Network. It's a bit of an overused phrase, but I'm going to roll with it literally for the sake of this little presentation. So let's go. We started the year not knowing where our money was going to come from. Our regular source of income that we had been dependent on for 3 years came to an end with no replacement in sight. So the first few months of this year were extremely difficult. We hope you didn't necessarily notice, but we rumbled along on our roller coaster on fumes with very little money, managing to keep a few things going, including these Friday calls and our regular newsletters and so on. And in addition to that, we worked with other people who funded us to deliver work for them. So, for example, we worked with Cumbria Music Hub and we delivered Bollywood brass drumming workshops over the summer. We worked with the brewery and, again, Young Sounds and the Music Hub to deliver some workshops for young musicians as well. But the first 6 months of this year, I think it's fair to say, some of the most difficult that we have experienced trying to keep Cumbria Arts and Culture Network going. So we managed, let's press on. We managed to deliver some training, including top tips for successful fundraising, which quite a lot of people came along to. It seemed very successful, and hopefully we'll be able to pick that up into your course. Next. We carried on with our Friday calls. As you say, Tom, we've had 42 and over, I think, 248 now since 2020, this year with 1,172 people joining us. And the next. Tom managed to produce 8 excellent episodes of the podcast around the county, variously, Kendal Calling Festival, to Tully, to the Florence Arts, to Emma McGordon, poet, and most recently Ellie Barden, the sculptor and welder. If you haven't listened to that most recent episode, do, because it's really very good. Next. We have 2 new team members. You'll remember that Amy Story unfortunately had to leave us, but after a very lengthy recruitment process, we managed to find Iona and Stuart. Stuart is our trainee and Iona is here dressed in her best festive t-shirt, picking up the reins from Amy. And the next. We've sent 50 newsletters regularly each week to 900 people, and we also launched Curated Cumbria with Intro PR in Carlisle, which is a sort of weekly listing of what's going on around the county, and we're pleased to say that that is going well. Next. Then finally, thanks to, well, frankly, a slog, a massive bid writing effort, and a lot of hard work by a lot of people, including the partners that we are now working with across the county, we managed to secure £175,000 from Arts Council England to deliver the See It to Be It project across the county for the next 2.5 years. That was in July, and we have been, that's when the roller coaster really took off uphill. So the next slide, please. Since then, we have pulled together an advisory group of 9 young creatives from right across the county who are helping to shape the project. The project, of course, is about helping young creatives to build their creative career in Cumbria so that they feel they can stay here and develop that, or return here and develop a sustainable career. Keep going. We had one big meet this year in Barrow, thanks to everybody at Art Gene for producing such an excellent venue for us. We met with Azra Matala, Jack McNeil and Emma McGordon, who were the 3 Catalyst residency winners last year, in fact, but who are bringing their work to a close. And we heard from all 3 of them that day, as well as a little panel of young creatives talking about the challenges of developing their career here. So next. Also part of See It to Be It, we've set up a mentoring programme for young creatives, and through an open call we have now found 6 young people and paired them with 6 experienced professionals, and for the next 6 months they will be supported to develop their practice and careers. And in fact, one of those young people has already secured a job on the back of it in the heritage sector, and we couldn't be more chuffed for him. So next. We've had 3 creative meetups, and here are Al, Alison and Layla, who led the visual arts and crafts one. We've also had one in theatre and spoken word and music. Keep going. A big part of the work that we're doing through the See It to Be It project is about getting into schools and colleges to really increase the visibility of creative careers. So far since October, we've engaged with 530 young people already, and specifically signposted 66 of those people, young people. Here we are at Netherhall School at a World of Work Day, and it's really, really good and exciting to be able to represent the sector alongside some of the more traditional industries in Cumbria. And, we're looking forward to much more of that during 2026. Nearly there. So here we are, ready to start the new Pivot programme, which is funded by Westmorland and Furness Council and Cumberland Council. That is a new programme that we are about to start work on. We've selected 16 people who are all ready to go to refresh their sort of creative direction and ambition, and that will begin in January. So that is my little roundup. Final slide. Yeah, just wanted to say thank you for what is, it sounds like a cliche. It has been such a roller coaster, but we are absolutely fired up and ready to go to 2026. Thank you very much.
Can I just quickly ask everybody to unmute and a round of applause for CACN, please, for Kate?
Thanks, Peter. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kate. And just again, for those that don't know, where do we get our funding from? How many of us are there?
So there's less than 3 full-time equivalent staff runs CACN. It's about 2.5 full-time equivalents. Most of our money currently now coming from Arts Council England, but it's also from Westmorland and Furness and Cumberland Councils, and anywhere else, frankly, that we can find relevant strands of funding.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Kate, and thank you, Pete, for that note of applause. Lovely stuff, and it feels like it's been a good year, as you say, Kate, from a rocky start for various reasons. We're now in a really good place and looking forward to next year as well. Right, the good news is we have 6 more awards to give out before the end of this call. So without further ado, we're going to press on with what we thought would be called the Best Foreign Correspondent Award. We obviously take anybody from anywhere on these calls. We've had people from abroad, we've had people from the south, we've had people from other parts of the north, but primarily it's Cumbrians that join up this call every Friday. But we have somebody who we love and feel close to our hearts, that I think Kate is going to reveal where this person is from and why we love them as a foreign correspondent.
We love them because they turn up every week and they write incredible poetry. And so the Foreign Correspondent Award goes to George Cogito. Hurrah! Come off mute and accept your award, George.
So George lives somewhere between Paisley and Stirling.
He lives in Paisley.
I'll live anywhere you want, Tom. What a delight it is to join you all on a Friday morning and hear what's happening down in Cumbria, to be in some ways a kind of adopted son. I love the area, I come down when I can, but maybe not as often as I would like, obviously. But yeah, great. But it's more just seeing the vibrancy of what's going on, and we can become very isolated in the arts community and live in our own little bubble. And it's lovely to actually see how somebody else's area is dealing with all this. So thanks for everyone, and thanks for letting me join you every Friday morning. It's a great way to end off a week.
George, we love you. We love you.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you very much, George. Lovely words. Right, next award is, as you can tell, we couldn't actually précis down the words for this award because it's about words. So the Wordsworth Writing Award for Best Contribution to the Chat Function. Again, a highly sought after award, this one. We've got a lot of correspondents who are very eloquent in the way that they put words into chats, but we've chosen one person that we think excels regularly. So Kate, would you like to tell us about that person?
Well, she is absolutely a writer through and through and a regular supporter of Cumbria Arts and Culture Network. Thank you for being so supportive. The award goes to Sue Allen, of course. Who else? Sue, do come off mute.
Always got an anecdote, always got something to say.
Oh God, yeah, can't shut up. The can't shut up award is what you really need, isn't it? Never knows when to stop award.
No, not at all. This is all about the chat function.
Excellent use of chat function, Sue. Always going off on lovely little tangents. So congratulations.
Honoured.
And can I just say you've got a great window there as well this morning. So congratulations for that too.
I'm going in chat in a minute to advertise this.
Oh, of course. Words by the Water is about to be launched today, I think, with the new programme. So that's very exciting. So yes, looking forward to hearing all about that. Thank you, Sue. Right. So we've also got kind of the Ordnance Survey Award for Most Random Location. Again, going back to geography, we'll take someone from anywhere, but sometimes this person appears and we're kind of quite not sure where this person actually is. So this is the Most Random Location Award. So Kate, again, who's this gone to?
This has gone to somebody, as you say, who seems to be in a different place every time and we can't quite keep tabs. So the award goes to Helen Pets. Come off mute and accept your award.
Okay, I'm currently in Notting Hill because I've just had an operation on my knee in London. But my official address is just outside Harrogate, a place called Starbeck, which is in between Harrogate and Knaresborough. But I used to live in Cumbria, and I've worked in Cumbria a lot, and I love Cumbria, and I wish I was there, and I wish I lived there, but I haven't got the money or the energy to get there. But
you're here digitally, so congratulations, and I think you definitely deserve that award.
Oh, thanks so much, and I'll definitely try and make an in-person meeting sometime next year.
Right.
Well, I'm going to reveal a date and a location for everybody at the end of this call that you might be interested in, Helen. So keep on to the call until the very end.
Oh yeah!
But congratulations on your award. Right, so this is again another sought after, although we don't always know it's a sought after award because we don't always hear them. This is the award for the person most likely to speak whilst on mute. Again, it's a kind of award that we all struggle with, and right at the start of the Zoom and Teams movement, mute was a regular thing for people. Most people have managed to sort out how to come off mute now, but there's one person in particular that we think hasn't quite cracked it yet. And Kate, you're going to tell us who that is.
I am going to tell you who it is. I'm going to, so it's another person who we love dearly, and he makes us laugh every time he comes on this call because of his struggle with mute and the way in which his dear wife has to come and take him off mute every time he needs to speak. So this award goes to the amazing and lovely Peter McQueen, who I think is not here today. So I'd like to ask Stefan Eskrit, his good friend, to come off mute and accept the award on his behalf. If you can just off mute.
This is pretty technical. This is asking for quite a lot. Does Stefan know about this?
Yes, come on, Stefan, you can do it. Press the button, Stefan, you can do it.
I see what Stefan is doing there.
Okay, he's accepting the award without coming off mute. Thank you very much. Please pass on our best wishes and the award to Peter McQueen. Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations there. So we've just got 2 awards left now. Again, you know, all awards are equal. All awards are very valuable. All awards are very essential. But there's one that has been judged this very morning as the best festive Zoom appearance. Again, appearance with an E. You know, let's see what the certificate says. We'll see whether the certificate has an A or an E on it. That's a bit of jeopardy involved here as well. But anyway, over to you, Kate, to reveal how on earth you've judged this particular award.
Well, it was very difficult, but actually the award this year for the best festive Zoom appearance has gone to Ian Clegg, because he made me burst out laughing when he appeared in his enormous beard this morning. Ian.
Thank you very much. That's very, very kind. I accept it with honour. Yes.
And thank you for being such a loyal supporter of CACN all year long as well.
Thank you. It's a great group, and I think the meetup in Barrow was fantastic, and it's just good to have those kind of meetings, and it's
Right.
lovely.
And Ian, do you have that beard? Where's that beard from?
It's from the attic. Yes, it's been on many a Christmas do, and this is my Christmas card for this year.
On the side, that's
On
it.
the side.
Excellent.
Yes, so thank you very much. I'm chuffed. Thank you.
Well, we love you coming on the call, Ian. We love that project that you're doing with your colleague in New Zealand with the photographs.
Thank you. Yes, I got a picture just this morning of New Zealand. Yes.
Fantastic. And can I just say, kind of almost everybody else, highly commended. It's been a brilliant effort this morning on the festive windows, and it's a beautiful thing to see you all looking so jolly and festive and Christmassy as we head towards the big day itself. Right, well, we just got one more award to deliver now, and this is the Lifetime Achievement Award. Before we reveal who's got that, I'm just looking at some bits in chat. There's Sue has put Words by the Water Festival with the programme there. A lovely comment from Catherine about CACN and for the work we put in, and it'd be lovely to see you as and when you're available, Catherine. Kate, thank you very much indeed for your lovely comments as well, and everybody else who's put comments into chat. It's really lovely to see that, and it's massively appreciated. It's actually great fun to do all this kind of stuff, but it's a bit of effort as well, and it's really nice to be appreciated. So thank you so much for all those lovely comments. Right, so that's the Jeopardy over. Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm not going to say anything else about this. I'm just going to hand over to Kate to tell us about who has won the Lifetime Achievement Award.
So this award goes to somebody who we all know and love, and who stepped back from CACN this year after a massive effort and a huge, really defining contribution to the Cumberland Arts and Culture Network. So the award, which goes with love and enormous thanks, goes to Amy Story, of course. So yeah, Amy, do come off chat if you can, and accept your award, which I know is, yeah, everybody appreciates what you did, and we miss you very much.
Well, this is a huge surprise. I'm glad that Tom sent an email this morning or yesterday to say come on the call. I've been part of CACN since it started, and yeah, I've had to step back due to illness this year, but I'm part of the network. You know, networks are so important. They're so important for artists. They're so important in Cumbria. You know, we live in such a rural county, and as George said, you know, as a freelance artist and creative person, you can get a bit isolated. So we need each other. We need to keep coming together on these calls. It's so important. And, you know, especially, you know, I've not always been that well, but the calls that I've managed to come to, they really make a difference. You know, it connects you with people, and yeah, just let's all keep doing it because it's so important. And happy Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much indeed. And you will always be a big part of CACN, so thank you for everything that you have given.
Congratulations to our winners. Congratulations also to the lovely Iona who has built those certificates with all their hidden and sometimes not quite so hidden spelling mistakes, which we all love as well. They're very endearing.
Appearance is one of those.
Iona?
Oh, yeah, try and stop me. I just want to say that appearance is one of those words that I have to check every time, like broccoli, because I never know how to spell it. And didn't do well enough today, so sorry, everyone.
It's wonderful stuff, and we couldn't do it without you. And thank you for all of the energy you've put into that. One final message from me before we conclude this call, and thank you very much to everybody who's joined this call. Thank you to Helen as well for saying hello and for picking up on some of those questions as well. The next big meet is going to be on Valentine's Day, February the 14th at Tully in Carlisle. So February the 14th, which is a Saturday. The focus is going to be on young creatives in Cumbria and probably something about explaining the arts landscape to those that are new to it. So we might well be calling on people who have a lot of experience in this world to explain how it all works and what is the Arts Council and what is a grant fund and where can you get pots of money from. And by the way, how do you write a decent press release and how do you pitch your idea? All sorts of things that a lot of people here will kind of do in their stride. But if you're starting out as a young creative in Cumbria, where do you begin? And there's so much experience and generosity amongst this network that we thought it would be a great place to start as part of the See It to Be It project to help actually just get assumed knowledge out of the way and have an opportunity for people to understand that. So more details about in the new year. And it'll be Saturday, the 14th of February at Tully in Carlisle, where a brand new exhibition will have just opened. I think I'm right in saying in connection with the Roman archaeological. Is that right, Pete? I think it's got some clever name, the exhibition. Do you know what it's called?
Oh, well,
I can't remember.
Between Worlds, I think it's called.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, so there'll be a really lovely piece to look at while people attend the meeting. So 14th of February at Tully in Carlisle. I think we're done. Thank you very much to Iona and to Kate for all the efforts they've put into the presentations this morning. Thanks to everybody who's joined us. It's been fantastic to see you all. I hope you all get a bit of a break from whatever it is you're doing over the festive period. And we're back together again on the 16th of January. So the next Friday call will be the 16th of January so that we can all get a bit of respite and a bit of a downtime then too. But lovely to see you all and have a happy Christmas.